how can we determine, like, am I being a living sacrifice?
Yeah.
How do I know I'm actually
It's a great question.
living dead?
Yeah. What percentage of your typical day do you get what you want? If my flesh, this is one of the things I've learned 33 years walking with Jesus. When my flesh gets what it wants, that is immediate evidence the Spirit of God is not getting what he wants. So I have to check myself and go, okay, in this relationship, how often am I getting what I want?
Yeah.
In this conversation, in my walk with the Lord, if I'm always getting what I want, I cannot make the case that the Spirit of God is getting what he wants. So I think practically, if someone sets a goal every day, I'm going to find the number one thing I least want to do today that the Spirit of God most wants me to do today. And I'm going to start my day by doing that one thing.
Yeah.
You know how the Spirit of God rolls. He may say, I want you to send a text to the person you haven't forgiven for 15 years.
Hello?
But see, people don't be messing with that.
Right.
So it's like,
nah.
I don't even want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, tell me to write a check, Jesus.
Right.
Like, I'll give an offering.
Right.
Don't ask me to text the person I haven't forgiven for 15 years.
Right.
But once we do the hardest things, so I'll give you an example for me. You know, we adopted our 6-year-old son, and it's the hardest yes I've ever given to the Lord. Okay. And he has been officially our son for 8 months.
That's awesome.
And I said to the Lord a couple mornings ago, I'm realizing the most genius chess move you have ever made in my life was the adoption of a 6-year-old boy. I've never experienced more of the pleasure of God and more of the death of my flesh at the same time. And I'm learning that my flesh has a smell when it dies, and it's not ugly.
Yeah.
To the Lord, it's beautiful. Yeah. So just for me personally, I think the more we run towards the very things we least want to do, that we know the Spirit of God most wants us to do. Yeah. This is, if I just said one thing, this is how you know you're a living sacrifice. Yeah. Where you're consistently doing the very things your flesh least wants to do. Yeah.
And those things don't always look like I think we think, oh, it's the reading my word and praying. That's a given. You need to do that every day.
Right.
That's being Christian. Right. That's knowing the Lord. That's intimacy. But it also, like you said, could be the text to someone that you need to forgive. It could be, being hospitable. It could be serving somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's literally, like you said, just praying and asking the Lord, like, what is it that you want me to do today?
It can be buying someone's groceries in the grocery store. It can be giving someone a prophetic word in aisle 4.
Hello?
These are when we open ourselves up to be used by the Spirit of God, all bets are off. Yeah. And we need to be comfortable with being asked to do things we don't want to do, which we would never choose to do in our flesh. Yeah. I ripped like a large part of my cornea, and it was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. But what was interesting to me, and I apply this to my spiritual walk with the Lord, is that when I went to the emergency room, the eye doctor, he's an eye doctor, so he sees this all the time. Could care less about how much pain I'm in. Yeah. He's like, I got to get in that eye. I got to see how bad it is. Right. And so he pries my, and I'm like, as soon as he gets close to my eye, I'm like trying to get away from me because this hurts. Yeah. Like, I'm not ready. Like, and he's like, you're never going to be ready. You got to let me get in that eye. What a bar. You know what I'm saying? Such a great
you're just
line.
It's going to hurt. So you're going to have to take a deep breath and let me get in that eye. And so I didn't have a choice, because if I want it to be fixed, I got to know how bad it is. Beautiful. He has to know how bad it is so it can get fixed, right? So he pries my eye open, and I mean, the worst pain, right? He finally gets it open. He's looking in it, and he's shining lights in there. I mean, you talk about, never have I had pain like that. And he goes, oh, yeah, I can see where it ripped, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, but I'm watching it being healed right now. your eye is healing itself right now. I'm watching it. So I was actively in pain and actively healing at the same time.
Simultaneously.
And I think that we have to be open to that type of process with the Lord. It's like you're never going to be ready to deal with some of the most painful things that happen in your life. You're never really going to be ready for it because it hurts.
Right.
You don't want to deal with the betrayal. You don't want to deal with the trauma. You don't want to deal with that. It hurts. It sucks. And the Lord is like, you're never going to be ready.
Right.
But I, the great physician, I got to get in there.
Yep.
And to know that the Lord designed us in a way where we could actively be healing at the same time that we're actively in pain. And so doing things that are uncomfortable, even in the way of presenting yourself as a living sacrifice, you can be doing something that is so uncomfortable. It hurts maybe. But at the same time, the Lord in his kindness is producing something so beautiful in you at the same time. And I think for me, it's what's helped me not resist the work.
Pain, increasing pain is temporary when we are healing. But increasing pain is also our reality when we're not healing. So the pain increasing is over quickly when I'm being healed. But when I choose not to be healed and I hold on to the trauma, I hold on to the hurts and I don't let the Lord heal it, my pain's going to increase. So the pain's going to increase one way or the other. It's just one lasts a lot longer. So just give me the temporary increase of pain. That's what he was saying to you. This is going to hurt a little bit more for a second.
For a second.
I got to get in there just for a minute. But this is part of the healing. And then the pain, what happens? Once we're healed, the pain no longer exists. The enemy lies to us and says, the thing which will hurt you the most is the divine act of healing. And he's not actually wrong. It's going to hurt. The pain is a part of the process of healing.
Correct.
But here's what the enemy doesn't tell people. Your pain is going to keep growing if you don't get healed.
If you don't get healed, it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because pain increases apart from healing.
And you want to know the interesting thing too about that situation is that they have what's called these like numbing drops that they put in your eye. And so it numbs the eye. And so all I wanted was for him to keep putting that stuff in my eye. I'm like, okay, put the stuff in my eye and do whatever you want because it's numbing it. I'm not in pain. He was like, this is only to help you for a second because if I keep giving you this, it's going to burn your cornea. Like it's actually bad for you. And this is the thing that we also have to learn in our spiritual growth.
So great.
Is that there are going to be these temporary things that for a moment, they'll numb it. But long term, it is going to destroy you. He said, if I gave you, because I was like, give me these numbing drops, dude. I'm going to go home until it's fixed.
This is my healing.
Hello? This is the healing. He's like, he was like, you will literally go blind. If you keep putting these in your eyes. He's like, I've already even given you too much. You're just going to have to endure. And I think that this is the thing we have to know about our spiritual growth. Is that these temporary things, they might for a moment make us feel better, but you are going to have to just endure the hard stuff to get to the longevity of healing.
Think about this. Jesus turned down the numbing. They offered him wine with a mixture of things that was designed to help numb the pain of someone who was dying. Jesus turned it down. He did not receive any numbing. Why? Because he wanted to be able to say to Megan, when she was experiencing for her the most excruciating pain emotionally, relationally, financially, spiritually, whatever area of her life in a particular season, he wanted to be able to look at Megan and say, I know how you feel. I learned obedience all the way to the point of death. Without numbing.